If you're someone that's feeling unsure and not confident about cover lines and temp shifts, keep watching because I'll break down how to master 2 simple charting skills that will help you confidently identify ovulation in your cycle. Hi everyone, I'm Mary Aline. I am your certified fertility awareness educator. I teach people all around the world how to confidently manage their fertility, reproductive desires, and health through an inclusive form of cycle tracking, also known as fertility awareness. The specific method that I teach, which I think is really important because not all methods of fertility awareness are the same. Even similar methods have slightly different variations. So it's important to know what method your fertility awareness educator is trained in. I am trained in the single check symptothermal method. So I teach people how to track different biomarkers, including basal body temperature, cervical fluid or vaginal secretions, and then an optional cervix technique. We also focus a lot on daily observation and being able to confidently identify where you are in your cycle every single day. So I'm not using any calculation methods or any predictive methods that double check methods might use or some other well-known symptothermal methods might use. So this is like you with your body every single day. You're feeling empowered and confident in understanding your fertility. We're going to start with talking about basal body temperature. So why are we so obsessed with basal body temperature when it comes to cycle tracking? The reason being is that there's a slight increase of your basal body temperature, which is your temperature at absolute rest. So this is likely early in the morning between 6 and 8 a.m. before all of your systems get going and start producing energy and therefore heat. So we are measuring this temperature, your core temperature, ideally through oral temping. You can also vaginally temp. There are some other wearable devices that you can use. However, the gold standard is to use a core body temperature when you are charting your cycle. And after ovulation occurs, there's a slight increase in your basal body temperature that should stay high above your cover line after you've ovulated. The 2 main skills that we're going to learn today is first one being how to identify a temp shift, because that tells us that ovulation has happened, and how to draw a cover line. So what's a cover line? A cover line is a horizontal or vertical line, depending upon if you're using a vertical chart or horizontal chart, that essentially separates your temperatures, your basal body temperatures, into 2 ranges. And this is called biphasic. You'll see your pre-ovulatory temp range, so this is your temperature range before you ovulated, and then you'll see sort of a post-ovulatory temp range. And you'll notice that your pre-ovulatory temps before you ovulate are lower than the after ovulation basal body temperature. And in order to confirm ovulation, we're looking for a chart that has this biphasic nature. And specifically, how we're going to do that is we're going to look for what's called a temperature shift. How do you identify a temperature shift? So you're looking for a temperature that's at least 0.2 or 0.2 degrees or 2 graph spaces, the magical number is 2, above the highest temperature within the last 6 days. So you're likely not going to have all of these temperatures to refer back to unless you have already finished a full chart and you are just going back to interpret your chart. So likely you'll just have maybe this one temperature and you'll notice, oh, hey, I think this one temperature, I can see that this one temperature is higher than the last 6 days. I wonder if that is my temperature shift. The next step that you need to do is draw your cover line. And again, so that cover line is going to help us confirm that ovulation has happened. In order to draw your cover line, you need to have at least 4 temps within the last 6 days. You can see in this chart, this person omitted a temp. Maybe they made a lifestyle choice that would impact their temperature, or maybe they were sick and they just know that that was like a little bit of an off temperature. So they have at least 5 temps, which is good. The reason why we need at least 4 temps in order to get an accurate range. So if we have anything less than 4, we don't have enough data to accurately draw our cover line. So again, you need at least 4 temps within the last 6 days. And what you'll do is you'll identify the highest temperature within that range. And so this person has 2 temps that are the same, and they're at 97.3 degrees. So these are going to be the highest temperatures within this range. Again, because we're not including this in our data set. It sounds pretty mathy, but I promise it gets like easier once you keep doing it and when you practice. And that's also why I love this method, is there's data and there's graphing, and it can be an amazing tool in that way to really understand your physiology. So you pick the highest temperature or temperatures. In this case, it's 97.3, and then you draw your cover line 1 graph space or 1/10 of a degree or 0.1 degrees above the highest. So that's why our cover line is on 97.4. And then ideally you want all of your luteal phase temps to stay above your cover line. And so that's telling us that progesterone is being released in your body and it's bumping those temperatures up. And therefore you can confirm that ovulation has likely occurred in this cycle. It's very similar with Celsius, just slightly different. So we're still looking for that temperature shift. We're still counting back 6 days. We're still looking for that 1 high temp within that 6-day range. And then we're going to draw our cover line right above the highest temp. So it's just slightly different because we're using a different metric system. We're using Celsius. It's 0.05 degrees above the highest temperature. So you can see here, this person has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 temps. So we can draw an accurate cover line. 36.5 is the highest within that range. So we're going to draw the cover line on 36.55. And you'll see this is an interesting chart because we have a fall back temperature. This can occur in your cycle. And so the guideline is that in order to confirm ovulation, we need at least 3 high temps within 4 days. So we have 1, 2, 3 high temps within 4 days. And you want your temperatures to be trending upward. So say you had another temperature after this day that dropped below here, then I'm not consider this to be able to confirm ovulation, and maybe there's something else going on. Maybe you're getting sick, maybe you're having an allergic reaction to something, maybe something's up with your thermometer. But again, we're looking for temperatures that stay high above our cover line in order to confirm ovulation. Okay, and so let's practice together. Okay, so looking at this chart, if I take a step back, I can see that there are 2 different ranges. So there's some lower temps here, and then you can see that there's some higher temps here. So this is a biphasic chart. Great. So I wonder where the temperature shift happened. So I'm looking for a temperature, and this one is omitted, so it's not connected to our line, so we can throw that temperature out. We can throw this temperature out. So we're looking for a big jump, and I see that right here, and that's well above the last 6 days. So let's see what that looks like. So we have our temp shift identified there, and then let's count back 6 days. Okay, let's find the highest within those 6 days, the highest temperature within those 6 days, that would be 97.4. And then we are drawing our cover line 1/10 of a degree above the highest. So that would be 97.5. So we have 3 high temps within 4 days. So in this instance, we can confirm ovulation. Here's how to draw a cover line using the Read Your Body app. You can see my temp shifted on cycle day 15, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are all the temps that I'm including into my cover line drawing, and I'm missing 1 temp. You can see the dotted lines there, but I have at least 4 within the last 6 days. So I can accurately draw a cover line, and then I find the highest temp within those 6 days. So that would be cycle day 13, which is 97.7. And then I would draw my cover line 0.1 degrees above that. So it would be 97.8. And the way you do that in Read Your Body is you go up to the little pencil in the top right, and then this pulls up where you can input your cover line. So I think I said 97.8. And then after you put that in, close that out. And there you have your cover line drawn. So you really want to look at the bigger picture of your cycle. If you already have a few charts, don't get too caught up in the refined details of the chart. I want you to take a big step back and look at your pattern of fertility. I teach about this sort of wave that builds in our body, and you'll see that in your vaginal secretions. You'll see that cervical fluid production. If you're tracking cervix changes, you might also notice some changes in your cervix. And so we're not just only focusing on basal body temperature when we're charting, we're really also looking at the bigger picture. So again, I know it's basal body temperature can be easy for people because it's like a data point, right? And it's pretty linear, whereas cervical fluid interpretation may just take some more time to understand like your own unique expression of cervical fluid and also how your body relates to estrogen and progesterone. And remember, if you're using this method for birth control, there are a few other guidelines that you'll want to learn and become confident in order to close out this fertile time of your cycle. If you got value from this video, let me know by hitting the like button down below. And also, if you would like a free chart review done by moi, you can sign up with a link in the description notes. So thank you so much for watching with me today. As always, may your temp shifts be clear and your cervical fluid stay juicy. I teach the single check